morning. It's 8 a.m. I'd like to call this special meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order for December 19th. I'd like to ask you to stand and come to the pledge allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And we'll start off with the roll call.
Okay.
Kevin Cunningham.
Becky Hewitt.
And if you would, item C, approve the minutes of December 9th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from December 9th.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And D is public comment.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Carla Desjardins, and I am here today as the chairman of the Democratic Town Committee. I submitted a letter to the Selectmen regarding the town clerk appointment, and I would just like to read that into the record. The Plainfield Democratic Town Committee met on Wednesday, December 4th, to discuss the candidates for the town clerk vacancy. We are fortunate to have 3 qualified Democratic Town Committee members who have submitted their applications for consideration: Barbie Gardner, Patrice David, and Nick Easton. The DTC is pleased to support all 3 candidates for this vacancy, as they have demonstrated strong work ethics, knowledge of election rules, as well as a commitment to the community through their volunteerism. In addition to the qualities listed above, each candidate has their own unique qualifications, which would be an asset to the town hall. Ms. Gardner is a public librarian with experience working closely with the public. Ms. David is an election moderator with experience enforcing election rules. Mr. Easton has education and experience in elections and public administration. Any of these 3 candidates would serve the town well and has the full support of the DTC. Unfortunately, the DTC is not familiar with the 4th candidate and cannot attest to his experience or qualifications for this vacancy. Also, the candidate only recently registered as a Democrat and must adhere to the 90-day waiting period before he can be considered a viable Democratic candidate. Given the time-sensitive nature of this appointment and the fact there are 3 qualified Democrats in good standing, I would ask the Board of Selectmen to make their decision as soon as reasonably possible with the 3 qualified and available candidates. And I just want to thank you for scheduling the special meeting so that this very important position can be filled prior to the holidays. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Would you consider me the public?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Hi, I'm Louisa Tracus, the current town clerk. I am retiring. My date has been changed. We've extended it so that I can train, which I'm very happy that the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance is okay with that. So I'm going to stay through the month of January, and my retirement date is now 2/3/2020. Mr. Cunningham and I interviewed 4 very capable candidates for the town clerk position. We were able to agree on 2 finalists, and Kevin has asked me to summarize their experiences and qualifications to assist in your decision. Barbie Gardner is one of our 2 finalists. Barbie has worked at the oldest library in Norwich for the past 2 years as the IT librarian and social media manager, and immediately before that worked for the Coventry Public Library as a reference and youth services librarian. These positions have given Barbie great perspective in the importance of preserving and keeping the important records of the town. During our interview, Barbie showed some understanding of the duties of a town clerk. She stated that she is willing to attend conferences and education classes and is willing to take the exam to become a certified town clerk. Barbie has some experience with budgets and feels comfortable to reach out for assistance to create a fair and realistic town clerk's budget. Barbie seems even-tempered and has had a lot of experience working with the public. She is very tech-savvy, which would come in handy in a job that is constantly changing as the state introduces more electronic processes. David Saros is the other of our 2 finalists. David has worked for American Systems in Norwich for the past 2 years, and immediately before that worked for Plainfield Renewable Energy. He also has a part-time job as a retail clerk. These positions have given David great perspective in record keeping and cashiering. During our interview, David showed considerable knowledge of the duties of the town clerk, especially the aspects of records management and elections, as he has attended 2 town clerk education classes and a town clerk's conference during this past year, which he paid for himself. These experiences have shown David the importance of networking with other town clerks, and he indicated that he will reach out when necessary. David stated that he is willing to continue attending conferences and taking education classes, as well as the exam to become a certified town clerk. David has served as a member of both the Ethics Commission and on the Board of Finance, and has a strong understanding of the town budget and the budget process. His volunteerism at the town has enabled him to develop relationships with the residents of Plainfield. David is level-headed and likable. He also has a great deal of experience working with the public. His current job involves electronics, and he is very comfortable with technology. David is a veteran of the U.S. Navy. I'd also like to just mention, because Carla brought it up, David's privilege date is December 23rd, and since this is a hire but not an appointment until February 3rd, he will be qualified. Both Kevin and I have agreed that either candidate would be able to fill the position of the town clerk. I was pleased to be part of the interview process, but the final decision is up to the Board of Selectmen. I would like to express my best wishes to the candidate that you choose, and as I stated in my resignation letter, we'll be happy to help make the transition as smooth as possible for the new town clerk and the town of Plainfield.
Any other public comment? Hearing none, we'll go right into new business, and it is number 1, which is appoint new town attorney. I did take the time to interview a few different companies, and I gave a copy of that packet to everybody to review. All quality candidates, and anyone would be a fine opportunity to hire. I would give my recommendation based on the interviews that I received, and I then would ask for I'll ask for any comment first. We'll go that way. Any concern, question, issues?
I have 2.
Okay.
This company, Martha,
Yes.
they have no prices. Robinson and Cole has no prices.
Okay. I can answer those quickly. With Robinson and Cole, it's $300 an hour.
Okay.
And the other one is also $315.
They're both higher than the others.
Yes.
I just think that with Robinson Cole, they have the experience of Plainfield behind them, so that's beneficial. But that's not to say that any attorney is going to do their research in the work, so.
I agree. Just by the way, first off, that all the companies that came forward gave great presentations and would be well served for the town. And with that, my recommendation, based on between all the other companies that came in, my recommendation would be Schuschman Shapiro. The rate is very reasonable.
What is their rate, Kevin?
Theirs is, it states in the thing here, I think it's 165.
They'll do 150
Yeah,
flat if you want, but yeah.
yeah, we can actually negotiate down from that
95,
165, which is actually the lowest I've gone for, all 6.
I am familiar with that firm, that is also a good firm,
Yeah.
so.
They do a lot of local.
But yes, that's the other thing, is there are a lot of local municipalities, so they know the region very well.
And I noticed with Robinson Cole, each attorney does a separate thing,
Right,
where this one,
well, they have this blended in there as well.
this lead man, Richard Cody,
Yes,
for Schuschman Shapiro, seems to have the experience in himself,
Mhm.
so.
But it is a large firm too, and they have attorneys that specialize in all different.
Yeah.
so,
The other
I mean,
one.
No,
So they also have-
Yeah, oh yeah,
So-
I read the
Yeah.
bios, yeah.
So I mean, they would be, I would either say Sisman and Shapiro or Robinson Cole.
So if there's no other comment, I would entertain a motion for choice.
I'll move that we pick Schuschman Shapiro for the town attorney.
No second?
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll be working with Schuschman Shapiro. Okay, now to number 2, which is the appointment of the town clerk. Ask for comments at this time, and we can discuss that and go into vote after.
So for me, I agree with both you and Louisa that David and Bobby are the best 2 candidates. I have worked with Bobby on the Democratic Town Committee, so I know her on that level. I've worked with David through the Board of Finance, so I know him on that level. I think they're both very qualified. I am a person, though, that I was not involved in the interview process. So for me, I think that makes the decision that it should come more from you, Kevin. I support both of them. Both of them have great qualifications. Barbie has an extensive background, like Louisa had said. So I think that she is a good choice. David has been involved in our community, has been on the ethics board and the finance board. He has attended the conferences. So I guess not being involved in the process of interviewing him, it makes it hard because I don't know what questions were asked but I think that they're both highly qualified, and either one of them would make a fantastic candidate as the town clerk.
My comments? Louisa mentioned that David went to 2 classes. I don't have a record of 1 in the conference.
I think I gave it to Kevin last week.
Okay.
The
But-
other one was recent. It
Okay.
was very recent.
The only other comment I would have is that Barbie Gardner, reading her resume, just based on that and not the interview, that in 11 years, her skills have increased over that time. She took on more responsibility as far as record keeping and whatnot. So, as far as I'm concerned, just looking at resumes, that would be my choice. So,
Let's go through a few steps first. First of all, we thank you for all of your years of service. That's number 1. And I don't understand, you don't understand how difficult this next decision is going to be, because we did an interviewing process and we were very fair. We asked the same questions throughout the process, and we got some fantastic candidates that came forward. It was very difficult to find out somebody stood above, heads and shoulders above anybody else. It was just very difficult. But I appreciate the fact that you were there for the interviewing process. Again, standard questions that were asked, and some twists. But we appreciate the fact that there were 4 very qualified candidates that came to the table. That's number 1. So the town of Plainfield is in good hands no matter which way we go, as it has been for many years. So thank you. I honestly have to say that it really came down to the 2 candidates, and you have a pro and con for each person, and I didn't find too many cons of either one, by the way. All very positive. So I honestly said it, and I'll say it again, it was the flip of the coin, because this is so close. But I would then entertain a motion from anybody to start forward, and then I know that sometime Plainfield will be well served over the next few years. By the way, during the interview process, we also asked the other questions about, this is an appointed position now, but it is actually an elected position, so we would love to have people go forward in the future to continue on, and as Louisa did, and continue on that way. So, entertain a motion at this time for a candidate of choice for the town clerk position to fill in for 2 years.
I'll move that we appoint Barbie Gardner.
We have a
Town
motion.
clerk.
Motion on the floor, here a second.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. And with that said, I do not want to discourage anybody from reaching out in the future for other positions and availabilities because, again, we had some great candidates, and for that, the town of Plainfield is very grateful to them. And we'd like to see you in the future come up for other opportunities. All four of them. So, thank you very much. With that, we don't have any other business, so we'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Kevin, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I know, so you officially just adjourned, but
Yes.
are you giving out a date at this meeting of when Barbie will start?
Okay, well,
I'm sorry, is that
That's
allowed,
okay.
or would that be something
so we
to
had a
do
motion to
outside?
adjourn. We're going to ask you to just rescind that motion. Okay, and we can go forward.
Okay,
So we need to know from Barbie Gardner, what is your availability to start?
I'd like to give my employer 2 weeks,
Yes?
but I did mention that on Mondays and Wednesdays, I don't go in till 3, so I could come here anytime
Okay.
within the next 2 weeks on those 2 days in the morning.
Start training?
Yeah,
Okay. So we can start paperwork to get your in
okay.
and process that right away, and then you can start with Mondays and Wednesdays?
sure.
Okay.
Wednesday's Christmas, so.
Oh.
So you're not going to be here this Wednesday? Is that-
Yeah,
But Mondays.
Okay.
I was gonna say, maybe we could say the Monday after Christmas, would that work?
The 30th is a full day.
Is that the 30th?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yep.
How about that?
That's a good start date? Okay. And then from that point on, just to follow this up, and I appreciate that for stopping and getting it started. We know that you put your letter of resignation in, it's actually going to be February 3rd, so hopefully the training process will continue on. You have to go to classes as well. You'll have support from the other clerks. So we'll do what we can to help you out. We appreciate you starting next Monday. And if there's anything else, we will follow it up and make sure paperwork is correct and get you going.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thanks.
So now we'll entertain that motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
8:17. Thank you very much.